Greetings, Benjamin J from Ben's Trains with another in the series. Well, I just wanted to do a quick video on an experiment that seems to have worked. Now, I wanted a fourth car, and I got these standard gauge trucks in the mail today. I found these on eBay for $6, so I couldn't pass them up. Just a set of plain steel trucks, much larger than the originals, as you can see. So anyway, what I did was I took an old piece of track, pulled the center rail out of it, put it on the trucks, and used a paper joiner down through the hole, and then just tied the axles together for now to give me a piece of rolling stock. And this is a dictation cylinder tube just sitting across those two rails. So getting ready to run this, I want to see what it's going to or how it's going to run, if it's going to run for that matter. If this works, very likely I will go down to Menards and pick up 2 5-gallon paint stirrers, glue them together, and I'll make myself a flat car and put a nice deck across these two steel trucks. Like I said, these got here today, so I just took them out of the box and I thought, what can I do with them? So like I said, I just put this old piece of track across it, pulled out the center rail, used the holes and a couple of paper joiners to mount this track directly to the trucks, and I just put a cardboard dictation cylinder tube across it for now. Anyway, going to be the first test of this thing running. Want to see if it's going to work. If it does, of course, tomorrow I will make a nice wooden deck for it. And as you see, it gives me another piece of rolling stock that cost me a grand total of $6. So, 2 standard gauge trucks and an old piece of track. So like I said, tomorrow I will get a couple of paint stirrers, 5-gallon paint stirrers, glue them together, cut them off to, I don't know, appropriate length, and then mount them on these trucks, and it'll give me a new flat car. And I'll just make some couplers out of hacksaw blades, very likely. And that'll give me a 4th piece of rolling stock. It's not original, but even so, it's a piece of rolling stock, and as you see, this locomotive is having no trouble at all pulling 4 cars. So a fun experiment. Took a grand total of 5 minutes to build this thing. But since I had the trucks, I figured I might as well make something out of it. And it only took a minute to do this. I mean, literally. I just threw this together, and it's up and running. So like I said, tomorrow I'll go up to Menards, get a couple of 5-gallon paint stirrers, glue them together, cut it off at an appropriate length, mount them to these trucks with a couple of screws, and make a couple of couplers out of a piece of hacksaw blade. And I'll have another piece of rolling stock for the standard gauge consist. So, an experiment that worked. Grand total is $6, and at least it gives me another piece of rolling stock. And again, this locomotive is having no trouble at all pulling that. So 4 standard gauge cars, 1 just made out of junk, literally. But it worked. Actually, if I took some time with this, I could make a really decent car, log car of some kind, out of that piece of track, or a better piece of track. But it worked. No problem at all. And like I said, literally just thrown together. So I wanted to see if what the trucks would look like. And a couple of paper joiners and an old piece of track, and it gave me another piece of rolling stock. So I can make something fairly decent out of this, and it won't cost anything. That's the nice thing about it. So a little bit faster. There's full blast, full speed on the 1033 90-watt transformer. That's more than fast enough. And of course, you can turn this thing way down, and with that Marx motor, this actually runs quite well at any speed you want to run it at. Let's see how slow it can actually go here. Okay, continuing to turn it down, you can see how dim the light bulb is getting. You can actually hear the wheels squeaking as they turn. A little bit slower, let's see here. So as you can see, this locomotive is running just absolutely perfectly. No problem with this at all. So, a fourth piece of rolling stock made out of junk. So, by tomorrow night, I could have a really decent flat car made out of this. So, 2 standard trucks, they arrived today, $6 on eBay. I couldn't pass it up. I figured I could make something out of it. And just using this piece of track, it's up and running. So, if I actually spent some time, I could make a really decent car out of that. Anyway, I just want to do a quick video on it. Another piece of rolling stock that didn't cost me anything. Well, $6. Let's turn this back up. So as you see, no trouble at all pulling it. So very likely, if nothing else comes up, this time tomorrow, I will have a nice flat car made. So anyway, I just want to do a quick video. You know, as I always stress, don't overlook the junk. You can make some fairly decent stuff out of stuff that's just laying around. And this was just an old nasty piece of track. I just pulled the center rail out, a couple of paper joiners, and a couple of wire ties right now, just hooking the axles together. So, an hour's work, you could make a really decent car out of these 2 trucks. So I very likely will do that. It'll give me another piece of rolling stock, dirt cheap, $6. Anyway, I just want to do a quick video on this. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to drop me an email. BENZTRAINZ@gmail.com. And as always, thank you for watching.